Hi, my name is Addison Key, and this is Pixar It Didn't Happen, Influencer Culture in Albuquerque Private Schools. What is the current situation? Albuquerque private schools are using influencer culture to market their business. I looked at private schools Bosque School, Albuquerque Academy, and Sandia Prep, and compared them to El Dorado High School, Volcano Vista, and Albuquerque High School. So, if education is their business, students are their product. I interviewed Doug Key, former head of upper school and head of admissions at Bosque School, and he explained that it's no different than a product at Target. You are competing with the people in the same product category. The issue with the current Instagram activity is that posts rarely account for the students' privacy, and the business approach to education negatively impacts the students and enforces elitism within our education systems. I would like to approach our city's private school system and propose social media efficacy classes that would teach educators about the current social media landscape and how it should be utilized in the future. Now, you're probably wondering, what is influencer culture? An influencer can be anyone, no matter their age or occupation. This is Emma Chamberlain. She's a YouTube influencer. The influencer will promote a product. Chamberlain Coffee is her coffee company. This product will fit into their online lifestyle and aesthetic. If you buy Emma Chamberlain coffee, as seen here, you can be a girl who reads, a girl who lays in the sun, a girl with 1 million likes on her photo who is very much loving this. This creates a cause and effect. If you buy this product, cause, you can be just like Emma, effect. You can go to the Met, read, be on the cover of Vogue, go to the Venice Film Festival, be on a billboard, and maybe have a cat. Influencers promote products that ultimately contribute to their online personality, which becomes their personal brand. Why does influencer culture increase inequality? A Morning Consult poll found that 54% of Americans ages 13 to 38 would rather become an influencer. But why? The reason many of our children want to be influencers, dance online, promote products, and risk individual and intellectual property and privacy for exchange of wealth and celebrity can be traced back to the country's practice of corporate liberalism and elevation of the American dream. Influencer culture is just a modification of capitalist ideals of success and elitism. Some, like Brooke Aaron Duffy, in her article, Influencer Culture is Everywhere, Even in Academia, explains that big companies like Meta and TikTok harness the content and free labor of their users under the guise of connectivity. The realities of this influencer economy trickle down to affect and change the marketing strategies of physical communities. Local businesses are constantly forced to stay on brand. The strategies must become even more creative and, in some cases, exploitative of their community. How does Instagram encourage influencer culture and elitism? The biggest way is in their language. We can see that they call your friends your followers. Amanda Montell argues in her book Cultish, The Language of Fanaticism, that language Instagram promotes encourages users to create their own little cult. By using the word followers, users begin to understand their mutuals not as friends, but as consumers of their content, invoking implicit meaning on the content itself. So, how do private schools use influencer culture? They often post photos of their students doing interesting things throughout the day. These photos are often candid and catch the students in action. If you pay tuition, you can be just like them. You can go on cool field trips, go to nationals for mock trial, and serve on the mayor's youth advisory council. More importantly, you can participate in an education that only a select few have access to. I looked at the Instagram profiles of private schools and public schools and analyzed their average posts per week since they started their Instagrams. Private schools post much more than public schools. Not only do they post more, but they post different things. We already saw what private schools post, but public schools often post to get in contact with their student, like when a varsity soccer game is, how to get a prom permission slip, and when we're going to do advisory. The formula to create the perfect Instagram caption, presented by Albuquerque Private Schools. Another implication of influencer culture within the private school system. First, there will be an identification of the student as a member of the community. So Junior Sonia 23, our 7th grade science program, or the Albuquerque Academy Mark Trial team. Next, there will be an achievement. appointed to the Mayor's Youth Advisory Council, and collect data and conduct research on the Rio Grande watershed, or 7th place in the National High School Mock Trial Championship. And lastly, the most important one is a moral representation. So, representing the views and interests of the community and engaging with the world beyond our campus. This shows that these students are somehow morally superior to others and represents the education that they have as a must-have product. So how do students feel about this? To get an answer, I turned to my own little cult following and posted a Google survey on my Instagram, asking students that went to high school in Albuquerque about their experience. 90% of kids said that their school posted on social media. 60% of them went to private school, while 30% of them went to public school. When asked if they thought students' privacy had been invaded, most students said sometimes. 13% said yes, and 27% said no. I asked students to explain. Many people said that it's okay when there is explicit content, but not if there isn't. Some said that it was exploitative when schools posted students of color more to market diversity in their audience. And some had different ideas about what consent is, because what is it really? Does that mean you consent one time? Do you have to consent every time? And can your parents consent for you? So let's talk about that. Why can't we just get parental consent? Should parents be able to decide how their child is presented on social media? This allows us to look at how some parents present their kids on social media through sharenting. What is sharenting? It's when parents create a social media presence for their children, sharing photos, videos, and updates about their life. Let's use an example of a parent, the sharenter, and their child, the sharented. Parents will share pictures of things their kids do and accomplish, sometimes sharing moments where they struggle as learning moments. So when they have meltdowns and they learn a lot about their emotions, or when they're playing with their friends. In the article, Sharenting Pure Influence and Privacy Concerns, Julie Renzini states that sharenting can be a form of self-promotion as the parental digital becomes a part of users' online self-representation. So this is a representation of the parent, not the child. But it can also be the means of sharing community online. But Ranzini concludes that as much as sharenting can be a source of well-being and a support for parents, it appears to substantially contribute to a narrative of parenting rather than to the narratives of childhood. So if we want to think about the children in our schools and not the parents or the teachers, parental consent should not be the only factor we use when deciding how and when students should be posted online. So what do we do next? Creating social media efficacy classes for educators to learn about the impacts of social media in influencer culture. The classes will cover the connection of marketing and influence, marketing and the education systems and its effects, current social media tactics of private schools in Albuquerque, and how these tactics compare to public school social media. The costs and budgets will include salaries for about 3 initial educators starting at $60,000, a workspace estimating that rent will be about $1,800 a month, upkeep and MISC costs averaging about $1,500 a month, and classes funded by private schools and parents knowing that they will want to better their community. So, benefits and conclusions. The problem is Emma Chamberlain girl boss too hard. Everyone wants to be her, including Albuquerque Public Schools, who are publicly marketing minors by posting on social media, crafting exaggerated captions, and lacking clear guidelines for consent. So what do we do next? By introducing social media efficacy classes for educators, we can stay up to date in the digital world while protecting the privacy of our students, and learn how to use social media with more fluency. A clear understanding of a student's privacy creates more trust in the community. Please invest in social media efficacy classes. Thank you.